Welcome to CyberTech. My name is Sean, and today in this video, I'm going to walk you through how to configure and install your ISO. Let's get started, shall we? In this video, we will walk through installing the CyberTech Aspecto platform on a VMware container. Prior to installing your ISO, the CyberTech VM system requires 12 gigs of RAM, 200 gigs of SSD, 250 gigs of HDD, 4 to 6 virtual CPUs, and a VMware host with software ESXi 6.0 or 6.5. This ISO is also supported in KVM environments. First, log into your VMware host, then go to Create or Register a new VM. On the next page, out of the three options, select Create a new virtual machine. Next, name the VM system. For this walkthrough, I use the name test102 as the IP address I will be using later with this test. Will end with .102. Next, match the VM compatibility to the one on your host. For guest OS family, choose Linux. And for guest OS version, use other 3.x or later Linux 64-bit. Click Next. On this page, select SSD. This is the primary storage disk for the system. Select Next. On the Customize Settings page, set up your system as it matches with the screenshot. 12 gigs of memory and 200 gigabytes on the SSD. You then need to select Add Hard Disk at the top of the page. Then, when you scroll down to the new hard disk, extend the details, change the storage to 250 gigabytes, and change the location to be HDD, not SSD, like seen in the screenshot. Notice the difference in the two hard disks. Below Network Adapter 1, change CD to Data Store ISO file. The VMware host will then automatically go to browse for a file. Add in your CyberTech provided ISO file. After adding the ISO file, the screen should look like this. If it matches something similar, then select Next. Make sure your configurations match the ones seen in the screenshots here, then click Finish to start the install. Once the VMware has been installed, you then need to power it on by either clicking the Power On button or clicking the Play button circled here. Once the system powers on, a separate command line window will open up. Let the system run until you see the following configuration screen. If your system stops at the localhost login screen, the system is still working in the background, so just let it keep running. Don't input anything here, or you may interrupt the process. If this is an international installation, first visit Option 2, Keyboard Configuration, and set the appropriate keyboard. Next, choose number 3, Network Configuration. You can do this by either typing the number 3 or using the down arrow on your keyboard, then hit Enter. Following this, choose number 2, Configure Administrative Port, and again following this, choose number 2, IPv4 address or DHCP. Set the correct IP address, as this address will be the location of your Aspecto system. Once entering in the correct IP address, another set of options will appear. Of these options, we just set number 2, the IP address, so you still need to set number 3 and number 4, the net mask and gateway. Your configurations should look similar to the below screenshot. Once you have these configured, choose number 7, Done. After selecting Done, you'll be taken back to the top screen of configurations. Choose number 4, Time Settings, and set the correct time zone. The default is to American Central Standard Time. Select Done when finished. The next configuration is number 6, the administrative password. Once the system starts running and we will switch over to a web browser to access the system, you'll need to have a password set up to log into the system. When setting the password, the data entry is hidden and is case sensitive, so we recommend you make this password easy to set for now, as you will be able to change it later. We recommend just using the password MAGIC, M-A-G-I-C. Select Done when completed. The next option is to configure number 7, the system template. We are going to use number 6, VM medium. This is the final configuration we need to make, so once you get back to the top configurations screen, you can select Done and let the system install. Let the system install until you see a Job Done bar that asks for a restart. You may notice that at one point the system may pause on a localhost login page. The system is still running in the background, so do not try to log in here until the system either automatically restarts or asks for a restart. The login page we are looking for looks like the screen on the right here, not the one on the left. Now, once you get to this login page, type admin as it is the default username. Use the password you set earlier, and remember the case is hidden, so make sure to type it exactly right. The screen should display primary interface is, followed by the IP address we selected earlier if everything is correct. Now, go to your internet browser and type in the IP address. If installation and configuration were all set properly, you should see the end user license agreement. Accept the EULA, then use the same credentials to log in again to the system. Admin as the username and password that you set earlier, or MAGIC as we recommended. You should get into the system and see the user interface. For now, you should only see tabs for Settings, System, and Support on the Options toolbar in the header next to the DB CyberTech logo in the top left corner. The next step is to add your license. To do this, first click on the initial user icon in the top right-hand corner. From the drop-down, select Licensing at the bottom. This will take you to the Licensing and Features page. Select the Licenses tab, where you'll find that you need to upload your license in order to gain functions of your system. Select the Add button directly underneath where it says Features. You then need to copy the license into the window, and then select Continue. The system will then require a reboot in order for your license to take effect. After you restart your system, you will either be redirected to the login page again, or you'll land back at the licenses page. If you end up at the licenses page, you need to log out of the system. To do this, click the initial user icon in the top right corner of the page and select the second option from the drop-down. Once you've logged out, you'll now need to sign in with a password provided to you originally by DB CyberTech Technical Support. You still use the same username, admin, but now paste in the new password to log in. The reason for this is because the system automatically changes the password to what is linked with your license as a safety feature. Once you've logged in again with the new password, you can then reset the password to whatever you're choosing. To do this, select the initial user icon again and select the first option underneath, Change Password. This concludes the ISO configuration and installation video. For any further questions you have about setup and installation, please contact DB CyberTech Technical Support at their email, support@dbcybertech.com, or by calling 1-800-375-0592. Again, that's 1-800-375-0592 and support@dbcybertech.com. I'm Sean from DB CyberTech. Thanks for watching.